evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television with Hisha and Ali. Let's take a look at the headlines first. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna signs a memorandum of understanding with 10 political parties today. BOI states entrepot trading in Sri Lanka does not permit waste recycling. News in detail. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today signed a memorandum of understanding with 10 political parties at the official residence of opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa at Vijayarama Mawatha, Colombo, in order to form a new political alliance. The MOU was signed with 10 political parties which are not attached to the joint opposition or not representing the parliament at present. Accordingly, the MOU was signed with Maubima Janata Party, Lanka Kamkaru Eksat Peramuna, Tamila Eksat Nidahas Peramuna, Ilavar Democratic Front, Muslim Ulama Party, Liberal Party, Navasinhala Urumaya, Democratic National Movement, Eksat Lanka Mahasabhava and the Bhumiputra Party. The MOU was signed to form a new alliance targeting the forthcoming presidential election and other elections. Addressing the event, opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa stated that the present government is inactive on providing employment opportunities to graduates and fortifying the developmental projects in the country. The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka claims that although the hub operators are allowed to import, store, process and re-export cargo on non-foreign exchange basis, it is also subject to restrictions and prohibitions imposed under Schedule B of the Customs Ordinance on importation of goods. The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka made these clarifications while issuing a statement yesterday clarifying its stance in respect of the importation and processing of post-consumer waste by the hub operators. Board of Investment says that the import and export process is done through a synchronized operational procedure outlined by the Director General of Customs in terms of item number 4 of the above commercial hub regulation. BOI states although the above regulation enables the hub operators to import, store, process and re-export cargo on NFE basis, it is also subject to restrictions and prohibitions imposed under Schedule B of the Customs Ordinance on importation of goods. Schedule B stipulates, among others, that importation of any article which is prohibited by any enactment or any legal order now in force or hereafter to be enacted, or any rules, regulations, notifications, proclamations or orders made or issued thereunder is prohibited. Although the entrepot trade permits importation and minor processing, it does not encompass any kind of resources recycling activities. BOI also says if any such activity is to be performed by a hub operator, explicit written approval must be obtained from the BOI and the Central Environmental Authority. Also, BOI mentions that the Commercial Hub Regulation and the Sri Lanka-Singapore Free Trade Agreement, which came into effect on the 1st of May 2018, has no connection whatsoever. While celebrating its Diamond Jubilee, the Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka launched its new curriculum yesterday in Colombo to counter the changing dynamics of the corporate world and increasing challenges with the onset of digital disruption on big data, automation and robotics. The Curriculum 2020 will mold chartered accountants by instilling strong business intelligence, IT and leadership skills to help revive corporate Sri Lanka. The curriculum is structured around 3 pillars: professional experience, professional knowledge and professional skills, and is offered at business level 1 and 2 as well as corporate level and strategic level. Curriculum 2020, which has been developed to meet the increasing demands of both employers as well as present and future market requirements, also comes with 2 early exit routes: Certified Business Accountant and Certified Corporate Accountant. For the first time, the new curriculum also offers specialization in actuarial science, data analytics, finance, taxation, governance, risk and controls, and entrepreneurship while meeting the international education standards set by the International Federation of Accountants. Speaking at the launch of the new curriculum of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka yesterday, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Cargill's Bank, Rajendra Thigaraja, stresses that Sri Lanka has enough conceptualization of development but seriously lacks execution of such goals.
In the last decade, what this country has been doing mainly has been investing in reconstructing infrastructure, looking at regulatory and perhaps various other forms of reforms. But unfortunately, sadly, what we have not been seeing is enough execution. We have been seeing a lot of conceptualization, but less execution. So I think now this is, as we look at the next decade, it's very timely that we develop a breed of accountants who are hopefully equipped not just with input-based training, but with outcomes-based training and experience, so that they go out there and leverage on this infrastructure which we have invested in this country for the last 10 years and get on with life, get on with business.
Stay tuned and we'll be back after a short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Dell Technologies Sri Lanka Country Manager Krishant Fernando says that accessibility to data is at the core of business transformation, and modern enterprises are increasingly relying on cloud to help accelerate the delivery of innovative services powered by the data to the business, ultimately delivering new experiences to their customers. The Dell Symposium 2019 embarked in Colombo recently, announcing the launch of Dell Technologies Cloud and Unified Workspaces, projecting Dell's driving force in introducing emergent new expansions, innovations, and novel IT concepts to the public. Dell Technologies also unveiled its modern infrastructure and workforce transformation solutions, multi-cloud strategy, and unified workspace. The Dell management at a media briefing in Colombo yesterday said that the latest technologies cater to groundwork customers need to process, transport, store, protect, and consume data across and all boundaries, making it an efficient deployment to banking and government sectors as well as the top corporates. Speaking at the event to introduce the unified Dell Technologies Workspace and Dell Symposium 2019, Dell Technologies Vice President Anothai Vetyakorn also said that new solutions will provide the right support for Dell customers, especially around saving time and resources to focus on making strategic decisions.
Sri Lanka is in an emerging market for us. It is a new developing market that we actually put a lot of effort here. Time, investment, human capital, technology transfer, whatsoever. That's because we see the potential. We see huge potential in this market, and I believe that in the next few years, Sri Lanka will actually growing very, very fast as a country.
Investment is in the commitment to the country from both technology and the knowledge transfer areas. And just to add on to the earlier question a little bit, Sri Lanka is never far behind in the technology curve. I'm sure you would agree that our banks and our telcos are at the cutting edge of technology sometimes. In fact, sometimes leading than some of the other countries around us. So from a technology point, from Dell Technologies viewpoint as well, as Kunanathai said, this market is a growth market for us, and we definitely are going to invest for the long term.
The 22nd Annual General Meeting of the Sri Lanka-Singapore Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce was held recently at the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. Managing Director of Prudential Shipping Lines Private Limited, Rohitha Mendis, was re-elected as the President of the Council for the year 2019 and 2020. Sri Lanka-Singapore Business Council was inaugurated in 1997 under the guidance of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce with the objective of promoting trade, investments, tourism and services between Sri Lanka and Singapore. Addressing the event, President of the Council for the year 2019 and 2020, Rohitha Mendis mentioned that many Singaporean companies are already engaged in business activities in Sri Lanka and many more are exploring the potential opportunities. He further said that Sri Lanka has again firmed up to take a business delegation to Singapore next month, and nearly 15 to 20 companies have already confirmed participation. Director of BOV Capital Private Limited, Prajit Balasubramaniam, Deputy Managing Director, Agri Inputs, A. Baba and Company Limited, Janaka Gunasekara, and Group General Manager at Prima Ceylon Private Limited, Tan Beng Chuan, were elected as Vice Presidents of the Council. And now we will be bringing you an analysis of the Colombo stock market for the past week along with a stock forecast for the coming week.
Despite the expectations of a slowdown, the stock market has been very strong and on a continuous uptrend for yet another week. The SPI started off the week on a negative note, losing about 55 points on Monday. But beyond Monday, buying interest has been very strong, pushing the market up. On Friday, the benchmark index managed to surpass the 5,800 mark for the first time since February 2019. The turnover levels remain moderate except on Monday where the level remained quite low. Heavy buying interest was noted on banking sector counters with most banks trading below the book value. Strong price appreciations were seen in all banking counters, pushing the index higher. Foreign participation, however, was onto the low side during the week, foreign being mixed with inflows and outflows. Retail activity was very extremely high with strong investor interest that is prevalent in the market. Despite the continued strong bullish sentiment in the market, we continue to expect a slowdown in the trend. The weak corporate results being released at the moment are also likely to support the slowdown in the sentiment. We continue to believe that the retail activity may dominate the market. With profit taking on the cards, turnover is also likely to slow down and may remain in the low to moderate levels. Turnover levels are likely to be, however, dominated by local participation, with foreign activity continuing to be weak.
Stay tuned for stock updates. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 78.23 points to close at 5,872.89, and the S&P SL20 gained 44.94 points to close at 2,925.48. The turnover was 1.2 billion rupees and over 50 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all news for today. Join us tomorrow with Biz Roundup. Until then, take care. Good night.